Hello and welcome to this update on the Payables Agent. My name is Soren. I'm a product manager in the Business Central team.
Hi, my name is Jose Antonio, and I'm one of the software engineers that have worked on this Payables Agent update.
So, accounts payables is the backbone of quality financial data. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you make a mistake in your accounts payable, when you register vendor invoices, you will see that trickle up downstream and become errors, and it will impact your financial statements, your P&L, and all kinds of other things, and you'll spend a lot of time cleaning that up. That's why we have the Payables Agent, to help you streamline your accounts payable processes. There's a lot of business value in the Payables Agent. First of all, it's an AI-powered end-to-end invoice processing. It covers the entire process. That's the idea. You don't need anything else to handle your vendor invoice processing. The key thing is that the agent empowers your AP teams to provide quality financial data to the organization. So you can trust your financial statements and trust your P&L and so on. We also think that the agent will be able to improve the throughput of your accounts payable teams, because now the agent does a lot of the heavy work for your teams, no data entry and so on, and it helps ensure that data is registered correctly in your accounts payable. And one of the important things is the way that the agent works is it learns over time. The more you use it, the better it will become, the more it will learn how you do things in your company. So right now, the Payables Agent is in preview, and we call it the first line of defense against poor quality data in accounts payable. So the agent is in preview in 4 countries: United States, United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. And it has a lot of great functionality already that you can see here on screen. One of the key things is that there will be no more data entry, and the agent will interpret an invoice and be able to present its reasoning of why do we register an invoice in a certain way to the user. It's all about trust and transparency. So let's just jump right into a demo. Jose, do you mind showing us a demo of the agent?
Yes, let's go for a demo. Here we are in Business Central, and the only thing that we need to do to start working with a Payable Agent is go to this hexagon, and on Settings, we have different parameters. The agent works on an email. I know that here I will have one configured from my company that I will be listening my invoices, PDFs from it.
So you're saying, Jose, that we monitor a specific email address for incoming invoices. So let's just clarify that. So whether or not you expose that email account, that email address to your vendors so they can send invoices to that account is up to you. You can also use it in a scenario where you don't expose that email account, but your employees, your AP team will forward invoices to this email account. So that way you can minimize some of the noise that comes into this email account. The one key thing to know is that you don't need to, and you shouldn't, monitor this email account in Outlook as well. The agent will take care of any PDF attachment that comes into this email account.
Yeah, exactly. Once we enable the agent, it will be monitoring any new incoming email that you will have received on that account. Like, for example, this demo invoice that we're sending to the target account with a PDF that we'll be analyzing. There is no need to actively monitor what the Payable Agent is doing. It will be picked up on its own time, and it will be showing on this side panel here on the right as a new task. Now the agent is done, we will get a notification both in BC and also on the side panel that there is a task for review. Here, we will be able to see that the content of the email and also view the PDF that we will be analyzing. It all looks good to me, so when I go for the review, here is the draft information that was suggested. For example, we have found different lines that they basically align to what we expected. We found some proposals for deferrals. All of this content has been AI generated, so a human needs to review as there can be errors. It all looks good to me, so I will just confirm, and the agent will take the last steps to create a final purchase invoice. However, this is a basic scenario. Let's move forward a couple of months and look at what a company could be actually doing part of their accountant job. Let's say that we jump into weekly rotations, and then on Monday morning, it's time to review a new list of tasks. So now let's look at this other company that had the agent running for a while. We will see that there is multiple tasks that there were already addressed. And let's assume that a new content comes by on Monday. There is a bunch of work items for them to look at. First, we will look at this one. There is some review, there is some information, draft ready, same as before. Everything looks fine. I can view the PDF itself to get an idea of what exactly is it that I'm dealing with. Okay, so I'm working with Fabricam. Okay, I know that there is a bunch of information that we have already set up, like item references. So I just want to double check that the information here looks according to what I expect. Everything looks good, same as before. We can confirm and move forward. No pain, almost no time required for my part into reviewing this invoice. Let's look into another scenario. On this one, I can see that the agent didn't actually find a vendor originally, so it suggests me to create a new one. I already accepted to move forward, and at this point, I will just review what is the information that is populated into this agent. This is on the right side, we will have the information extracted from the invoice, and the fields were populated. It all looks good for me.
And when we speak about creating vendors, so when the agent is asked by the user, instructed by the user to create a new vendor, it's important to know that the blocked field on the vendor will be set to all. And that's because we want to respect any due diligence on processes you have for approving a vendor. You need to maybe check the vendor's bank account and onboard the vendor in various ways. So the agent is not able to process with the invoice until you unblock the vendor. That's important to know.
Exactly. So even if we confirm here that the content is valid, the agent will not override existing behavior on Business Central. There are many more scenarios that we could cover, but I think this is a good enough experience. Just go and try out the Payable Agents for yourself. Going back to you, Soren.
That's great. Thank you for a great demo, Jose. Now, you started by showing us a little bit of the setup experience. Could you add a few more words to what does it mean to set up the agent?
Yeah, actually, there is not much setup required. The idea was that the agent will be a one-click stop for configuration. So out of the box, the agents will work with your existing Business Central. However, for those of you that are interested in tweaking some of the parameters, like for example, the reviewing that initial email, you can skip that step for the agent to analyze directly the PDF and come down for a human-in-the-loop moment down the line when it's more necessary. There is also other configurations for the algorithms that we use for suggesting what each line should be matched to, but we will explain more those in the documentation.
That's really cool. So I can basically get started with the agent in very, very little time. There's nothing I need to set up, basically nothing I need to map to my existing items or accounts and things of that nature. Very, very cool. Thank you, Jose. So let's talk about customer feedback for a second. So when we build AI features, it's crucial that we get customer feedback as early in the process as possible. So the Payables Agent, as we saw, is in preview right now. And one of the key pieces of feedback that we got through the preview was that a customer said, well, they want the Payables Agent to be able to increase the invoice throughput. And they also want the agent to be able to improve the accuracy of their vendor invoice processing because they had errors in the process today. And they want to make sure that controls and compliance is easy. And that's actually spot on what we intend the agent to help you with. Speaking of feedback, we can argue that in the past, software was done when it met a certain set of fixed requirements. But with AI, there's a change in this perspective because AI improves as it's being used. It kind of depends on real-world use. So in that sense, you could say that software with AI is sort of co-created with customers. And we really want you to try out the agent. Use it, it will become better, it will learn from your use, from the historic invoices that you have. So key message from here is start using the agent so you can get familiar with it, and provide us with the feedback, both the feedback that the system will give by itself, that we will learn from, but also feedback in terms of what is missing, what do you think the agent should be able to handle. What we're doing next, and coming up in this wave, is we want to make the agent available to as many customers as possible. That means worldwide availability, what we call general availability of the agent. There might still be some language and geographical restrictions, even if we go general availability, but stand by for more information on that. But we want the agent to be available to any of you out there as soon as possible. At the same time, we want to expand the functional capabilities of the agent. We want to improve the matching of vendors, as we saw before the scenario where we didn't recognize the vendor. We want to get better at that. We also want to handle one of those crucial processes, which is matching with purchase orders in the system, whether those purchase orders are from actual products or with services and things you buy on GL accounts, for example. We want to be able to do both sort of two-way and three-way matching of purchase orders. Let's talk about what we want the agent to become a bit more long-term. So the vision of the agent is that it's all you need to handle your vendor invoice processing from start to finish. Basically, we want to transform back office and accounts payables with AI. And one of these things is we want to be able to source any invoice, whether it's an electronic invoice, like the e-invoices we have a lot of here in Europe, or it's a PDF, as you just saw in this example in the demo. We want to help with identifying fraudulent invoices and different anti-fraud scenarios. We want as I said before, we want this to be an end-to-end invoice processing with purchase order matching, approvals, posting, what have you, according to how comfortable you are with dialing up the autonomy level. End of the day, accounts payable team should be able to provide quality data to the organization, and the Payables Agent will help with that. And that also means that by streamlining the entire operations, these account payable teams will be able to spend time on other things that maybe create more value in the organization. As we saw before, this is a turnkey solution, no setup required. This is a non-implementation. You point and click and activate, and that's basically it. A key thing here is this is all about trust and transparency. You saw some of the configuration options that allowed you to dial up the autonomy level by skipping the review of the email. We'll probably add more of these configurations over time so that the agent is supervised by subject matter experts, but can be unattended where you so desire. As I also mentioned, we want to do three-way matching, and of course also two-way matching if you have non-products. And this is a crucial thing. It should be as easy as you saw Jose do before when you review that draft to see, oh, it's matched with my purchase orders, maybe there's a price discrepancy and something like that. It should be easily handled by the agent. And then a key thing, which you didn't see here because we haven't got to that part yet. What we saw now was that the invoice, the draft becomes a purchase invoice document. And now, at the current state of the agent, you take it from there and do whatever approval process and whatever you want to do before posting the invoice. But we also want to handle approvals. Basically, we want you to be able to approve an invoice from anywhere. That's the goal. And we might also go as far as to say, once it's done, once the invoice has been approved and it's been through the proper process, maybe you decide to post it. Maybe the agent can post it for you if you so choose. And maybe the agent can go as far as to create the optimal payment suggestion. Let's see. But these are part of the thoughts of where we want to take the agent. So with that, we want to thank you for watching this update of the Payables Agent. For more information about anything Business Central, if there's one link you should take away from this slide, is the aka.ms/bcall. You probably know many of the rest of these links, but note them down anyway. And of course, follow our LinkedIn page and make sure to follow all of the new content that we post there and learn from a great community out there of Business Central professionals. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.